Hello, welcome back to the railway, and we're going to be running the Kobo this week with the Hornby Dublo Super Detail coaches, and we'll also be running this little fella here, and also the double-ended diesel loco, the earlier version of the one I showed you in the last video. This one's got Triang railways on the side, and this is in a lot better condition than the later one that I've got. And this and the coaches, which you see, these are the first series, and these are the ones with the blue roofs on them, which disappeared in the 1961 catalogue, and they went over to using where is it? Here it is. They went over to using a grey roof on these blue Series 1 coaches. Now this one here, interestingly, is the number on it is 20537. I'll move that along, which is the same as the number on the observation car with the blue roof. So maybe they weren't particular about the numbers on these, but usually you find the same type of carriage with the same number, but yeah, don't know about that one. So we'll get him out. And this actually constitutes the set in the 1960 catalogue. I'm not sure whether they called it the Blue Streak at that point, but I don't think. We'll have a look at the catalogue in a minute. So that's the baggage car there. We'll reverse him onto the rest of the train. Are we on? Almost. Give him a little nudge. Yeah, couplings are slightly different heights on that. I didn't notice that. And away we go. As you can see, there's none of the missing yellow paint on the front of this one or the other end, so it's in really nice condition. Wouldn't say it's fresh out of the box, but it's one of the best ones I've seen. Also these carriages, actually. Yeah, I mean, these are all the printing is in good condition on these. There's no seats in these early ones, although I think you could buy the seats separately. It's got them in the Vista Dome and in the nice little observation car there. So let's get him going. Do that before we have derailments. So it's got a nice bright light this end. The light at the other end is a little bit subdued, but there you go. You can see it lights up the side numbers as well there. Try and get a decent shot of that as she comes round again. There we go. great looking train, isn't it? Let's get the Kobo coming, and this was one of the most unpopular Hornby Dublo models. You can guess why. It's perhaps the most boring looking diesel, mainline diesel, that was ever made. I mean, it's an excellent runner. It's got the big ring-filled motor in it. You can still get the traction tyres for this online. So it's worth looking out for one if you're that way inclined, but they, they're a little bit expensive if they're in half decent condition anyway, like a lot of these things. They're not particularly rare. I think Hornby Dublo had, when they went bust in 1965, they probably had a warehouse full of these unsold, and they were packaged up by Triang with their Triang Hornby labels just stuck on the boxes until they ran out. They didn't make them anymore, and I don't think Wren actually continued making this either. So it's the unloved child of Hornby Dublo. But I quite like it, and like I said, it's quite a powerful, and it's roughly in scale as well, which is more than can be said for their version of the Deltic, which was about the same length as this. It was quite short. But yeah, it's got considerable weight to it, and yeah, I think it's quite good. If you like metal locomotives, this is definitely one to look out for. Good performers with the motor, it's an excellent motor. So here we go. Look, he's whizzing along now. These baggage cars are sometimes a bit hard to get hold of, apparently. I've recently got hold of one for my silver and red transcontinental Series 1 coaches. I've recently got one of those, and it was $4.99. So, and it's almost in as good a condition as this one is. But you will find that the doors tend to open on it as it goes along. Sometimes that one's a bit loose. I think the others are okay though. But yeah, they're useful. You can put stuff in there, can't you? You can load it and unload it. So let's go and have a look at this as it appeared in the catalogue in 1960, and also we'll have a look in the Hornby Dublo catalogue the year after for that one. Okay, so this is the 1960 catalogue, and we won't dwell too much on the other things. We'll go straight to the transcontinental page if we can, which is usually up. Oh, here we are, it's in the middle. So it's the RS14 train set if you bought the set, and it's got the R159 double-ended diesel, and it's got the baggage car, what Americans call a chair car, the Vista Dome car, and the observation car. The set underneath, I'll probably get that out next time, is the red single-ended diesel, and it's got exactly the same consist there. You've got the baggage car, the observation car, the chair car, and the observation car at the back. So it's quite a nice page of continental trains there, transcontinental trains. And at this point the little diesel switcher was yellow. Mine's red. I think mine's probably later. There you go, they're blowing their own trumpet there. So these are meant to represent trains in the USA, Canada, South Africa, Australia and New Zealand. I think they had a prairie tank or a Baltic tank, which was meant to be South African, or maybe, I don't know, European. That's definitely Canadian, the locomotive there, the steam locomotive. RS2, that's an American type of engine. It's not a bad sort of version of it. These little switches are fantasy items. These single-ended diesels are meant to represent the freight units, as they were called, F units in America, although they were used on passenger or freight duties. And this one is meant to represent an Australian prototype, which actually had cocoa wheels, not Bobo at all, but it does look nice, doesn't it? So let's have a look at the next. We'll have a look at the Hornby Dublo one in a minute, but in 1961, the year after, I'll show you about what I mean about the grey roofs. There we are. It's the same set, although here we are. They've put the train set number over here, RS15. It's the same set with the observation car, the Vista Dome, the chair car, the baggage car, and the loco. But you can see they've all got grey roofs now. I'm not sure why they did that, but this year they brought out the Series 2 version of the transcontinental cars, and they were available in this two-tone green. And these were short run, I think, because they're very expensive. If you look at them on eBay, they're like £50 to £100 each. Whereas the blue ones are the cheapest usually. You usually get those really cheap. And the red and silver ones, the silver, with no embellishment ones, which are the earlier ones, they're really cheap. You can get those for next to nothing. But yeah, so I don't know why the roofs went grey. Perhaps they ran out of blue plastic and they were saving it for the bodies and not the roofs. I don't know. So there you go. Let's have a look at quickly at the Hornby Dublo catalogue for 1961. This is all the usual stuff in it. Not a great selection compared with the Triang catalogue, but here we are. It's the Kobo type diesel electric locomotive, and yeah, the real thing was quite unsuccessful, and the model followed in its footsteps, didn't it? So yeah, it's a shame. It was new this year, 1961, fitted with the famous ring-filled motor. So yeah, okay, let's go back to the layout and have a look at the little diesel switcher. Right, so we'll park this train up. Just watch it don't hit the buffers too hard. About there. Now we've got to take this baggage car off, if I can. Get that in there. Do. He's got some logs on today. He'll be delivering. I think we got them. Yep, looks like it. So I'll just pop round here and we'll just push this little thing there forward, and hopefully we'll deposit some logs in the bin over there. So we've got the giraffe car with Jerry in it, and another cattle wagon there, and the caboose, so along with the log car. So out we come. Make sure I set these points again. There you go. And Jerry ducks. And you can see as it goes past again, you can see the whole truck tips, or the whole top of it. A simple but effective toy, I suppose you could call it. So come round and we'll watch it operate from over here. There we go. There you go. Yep, so I'll just push that back again. Let's finish off by having the Kobo as well. The little yard switcher has a light in the front as well. See if we can catch it as it comes along. There you go. And you can hear the ringing noise of the Kobo as all those metal parts jangle against each other. A nice smooth runner though, I think you'll agree. There we are. Okay then, so I'll say goodbye and try and get something interesting for next time as well to watch. Bye now.